Welcome back to another exciting, inspiring discussion on Farveez Maharoof official YouTube channel. This discussion is special as we have a guest with us on board today, who is Mr. Hasib Omar, the CEO of Moose Clothing Company. Hello, how are you doing?
Hello.
Are you keeping busy? How have you been?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Top of the world.
Top of the world.
Yes.
Just to start off, Hasib, in 2018, the company starts off. It's a subsidiary of Brandix Sri Lanka. It took 50 years of expertise knowledge for Moose Clothing Company to be built. Where does it start from?
Okay, so say I think when I looked at people in Sri Lanka love to dress up, and say that we've seen over the years, say myself working in the factory, whenever there was an event, we'd see how much effort sort of people put in to dress up, and say they spend a significant portion of their salary on looking good. So then when we were looking at it, we realized there is probably some space here for us to create a brand and to cater to this segment of the market. And this specific segment was looking for value. So that's where we sort of really thought we need to pitch in, because there are a lot of Sri Lankan brands, but they sort of cater to a segment. They're more expensive, and it's probably not a value-driven. There are very few value-driven brands. So
affordability was a sector you all crafted,
absolutely,
right?
yes. So say, and then if we just sort of, so that was, and if we sort of also look at the other thing, what we realized is we've been from Brandix perspective, we've been catering to all the many large brands and some of the top-end brands in the world. And what we realized was there was, from what we are getting paid to the retail, so what the customer is making, there was a massive margin. So probably 100 to 80% different markups were there. But neither the brands or us were making exceptional profits. So that's where our team thought this is a problem we need to sort of crack. How we can figure out a way to come up with a product where without this loss in margin and consumer can get a bargain or value product. So that was the reason for us starting Moose Clothing Company. And yeah, the last 5.
What inspired you to start it? Was it the same reason?
It's the same reason. So say it was coming up with a solution for this problem. So say if you look at what you sort of buy, any international brand, you buy a shirt for $100, just we'll take it easy. And what happens is we probably end up getting paid somewhere close to $20 for that shirt approximately. But neither us nor the brand which you're buying from makes exceptional profits. So where does that $80 really go to? So that's the problem we want to solve with Moose Clothing Company. We've just begun our journey, in my opinion, because it's probably only in Sri Lanka that the brand has been established so far. And we probably have a long way to go before my dream can be realized.
And your dream is?
My dream is to be a global clothing brand which offers exceptional value.
I think he's on the right path. Looking at where Moose Clothing have started, I think you're definitely on the right path.
It's easier said than done, though, Maharoof. You know, it seems it seems so easy to do. But yeah, there's not many people have been able to do it so far as well. So probably a lot of hard work and research for us to get there.
And the quality, I mean, I wear a lot of Moose Clothing when it comes to pants and t-shirt. What I find is when it comes to, as you said, some of the global brands, which we usually buy whenever we go abroad, it's almost the same. And the quality is the same. And when you say, when Minel said about the affordability for the customers, it's much far lesser when buying abroad. So I think in that way, I definitely think, because among our communities, a lot of people buy it, a lot of people wear it, and it's quite trendy as well. So I definitely think you got the market right, and even international, in probably no time, everything goes well, I reckon very soon.
Fingers crossed and touch wood. Hopefully it works out the way we plan. So thank you.
Farveez, අපි ලංකාවේ ගත්තොත් දැන් ගොඩක් අය කියනවා අපේ මොනවාද කරන්නේ බිස්නස් එකට ඇඳුම් කඩයක් දානවා නැත්නම් කෑම කඩයක් ඕපන් කරා. හරි රෙගියුලර්නේ මේක අහන්නේ. දැන් Moose Clothing Company එක ගත්තොත් අවුරුදු කිහිපයයි ගිහිලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒත ඔය උන් ආපු ගුරුත් එක්ක ඒ වර්ධනය ඒගොල්ලෝ යූස් කරපු ටාගට් ඔඩියන්ස් එක, the strategy, the branding, marketing, sales, everything was crafted right.
Absolutely. I think where it started then Hasib කිව්වා වගේ family business එකක් moves එකක් වෙනම පටන් ගන්නවා. So personally I've known Hasib for quite a while now. I've been engaged with him. I know the family also. These people will never be satisfied. So ඒක තමයි මම හිතන්නේ ලොකුම තියෙන මේ බිස් ඕන entrepreneur කෙනෙක්ට තියෙන්න ඕනේ දෙයක්.
But I think human nature, right, Maharoof?
Never happy.
Exactly, our wants are unlimited. You know, so you have something today, we want something even better.
It's all about raising the bar. Now, let's say even as a sportsman, if I talk from the sportsman perspective,
Exactly.
we raise a bar and we keep raising the bar. Similarly, as entrepreneurs and business leaders, these people have to do it because these are the people who bringing the foreign remittance to the country and you're running the financial. So I reckon is very important and also recently started sponsoring the Sri Lankan cricket team. So that's a major step. And he did outbid one of the bigger companies when it comes to MA. So he was there for the last 14, 15 years to do that. And that's a statement.
So,
Sky is the limit.
no, this is, I think that it sort of made a lot of sense for us. So I think where that came from was, if you take, I think, only thing, I say two things Sri Lankans are world class at is probably making clothes and playing cricket. So say, okay, right now, even say the team, it's in the top, we play cricket among the top nations in the world. So say we compete with the world, we have won World Cup. No other sport we have come so far. And making clothes again, with Sri Lanka, how do I put it, has got a lot of expertise in terms of design, development, and there is a large industry. So I don't know whether you guys are aware of this stat. If you look at it like this, it's approximately $5 billion export of apparel from Sri Lanka. $5 billion, and that's one of the highest foreign exchange earners. But if you divide that by the population, that is 20 million, per head, we have one of the highest apparel exports in the world. So there is definitely a lot of know-how, and now how we can and the industry also has come a long way from how it began. Say, I think traditionally a lot of the businesses, how it worked was the designs and development were given to us from the brands. But now it's the Sri Lankan designers who are presenting to the brands, and those brands, I mean, those designs are getting accepted, and that's what's a lot of the time going on the runway. And also, say, the Sri Lankan plants have come a long way. Say, there are a lot of green plants, so which means eco-friendly and sustainable. And how do we say, some of the world's first green plants were in this country. So yeah, so the industry has definitely set a benchmark to the world. And so I suppose then it'll be it'll be the evolution, I suppose, how if Sri Lanka can become sort of the next France or London as sort of a fashion hub, because it's not always going to be manufacturing here, how we can use our expertise and say, that's how I see it as going to the next stage. Because if you look at around us, Bangladesh, India, all these countries have large labor, and that probably can be the production can happen there, and the know-how can probably be from here. So that's how I sort of envision it. So let's.
You spoke about challenges. I want to pick your brain on the challenges what you had during COVID. I know a lot of business owners did go through a rough time, and some survived, some did not. COVID as well as financial crisis. This is you're talking within 2 years,
Yes.
and that's a major hit. What were the strategies you, as the head, took into consideration?
So yeah, I think we have an amazing team. Okay, so and probably the best thing about that was we were agile. So during that period, it sort of say I don't think many realized, but the company managed to do large orders of PPE and even export from Sri Lanka. So that's sort of, and because of the agility of the team and for them able to say, think out of the box, so say today when clothes are not selling, nobody wants any clothes, we're under complete lockdown, what else can we do? So there were a lot of, changes in the business model, how it happened, and the team put some amazing work in to get that going. So I would probably put it a lot to the team of their ability to be agile and to make changes where it was required and to keep the business going in the tough times.
It's a perfect example, not only in sport, even
Yes,
in this field,
in fashion
teamwork goes a
industry.
long way.
Absolutely. Teamwork, I'd say, to be able to adapt to change, I suppose,
Yes.
because say a lot of people take a long time to adapt
The
to
new
change.
normal was there,
Yeah.
adaptability, then people working from home.
Exactly.
Everything.
Probably I'm still not comfortable working from home, but yeah, I'm a little bit more old-fashioned and I'm not.
Hasib, the fashion industry is quite vast. It keeps evolving.
Yes.
And with that evolvement, it's not an easy task to sustain. My point to you is, since I'm from the fashion industry quite a lot, you have to work with fashion designers. Fashion designers don't mean they have qualification only or experience. They have to know the trend, they have to know the market, they have to understand the culture, they have to know nowadays, or rather the Gen Zs. If you take most clothing, more Gen Zs use it. Even it's for the adults, or it could be 30 plus, 50 plus, anything. But Gen Zs, it moves very fast. We're using Moose because now Moose has come up to a level that it's like even an international brand. Nobody's shame. For an example, I'll take you from school days. If you take me as an example, some people only have the mindset of branded clothes. Now, I was never one of those children. But nowadays, if you take children or like people, what's your brand? People are very comfortable to say it's from Moose. I am buying, what are your pants? It's Moose. What's the t-shirt? It's Moose.
Correct.
Creating that is a very hard task. So that's because you'll use the right strategy. Trends, fashion trends. I'll be very specific. What were the innovative fashion creative trends used?
So, a simple example I'll
Okay.
give you. We actually really like to play with data, and so what we looked at was we did a lot of data scraping and research on what sort of really sells online within the international brands. So, for example, if we were looking at on sites like Amazon, eBay. We sort of picked out what are the colors, at what sort of prices, and what keeps changing. So it's very much data backed rather than sort of rather than based on someone's intuition.
Yeah.
So what we were doing is we were downloading what sort of sells on these websites and then putting it on say on dashboards and all that and saying, okay, pants, it's in this price range, these are the colors that it's sort of selling in this time period. Then what's sort of evolving. So and that was our basis on beginning, that was the basis of how we started. And it's sort of, we keep doing that time and time again. So then we realize what's in trend, what's not.
Are you the person you are at the moment at office? As a leader, principally what do you follow? Do you foster certain set of skills? If you take Farveez, he has different principles. If you take me as an individual, I am very different. Take you as an individual.
I think my colleagues might be able to answer that better.
But unfortunately, they are not here.
They're not here. So I don't know. Again, what I truly want to say, what I sort of try to believe in is to be able to adapt to change. And I suppose if we keep that in mind, it sort of helps us because if we get comfortable with where we are, what we are doing, and we sort of become happy with the results what we are achieving. So I think I am also not, in my personal life, I don't like too much change. I like things to be constant. But then in the business world, I have to really force myself to sort of adapt to change and to do things which I'm not comfortable with. So yeah, that's one of the things I sort of try and follow.
Digital marketing is also one of the key aspects in the modern era, I would say. Do you believe that physical stores are equally important and parallel to that digital should go?
Absolutely. So say In terms of digital marketing, I think that's where sort of really the world is headed. So even we as a brand, majority of our investments go into sort of digital marketing
Yes.
rather than traditional marketing channels. And what we have sort of also realized is marketing, traditional marketing channels are probably very much more expensive as compared to digital marketing.
Yeah.
And what has happened is, say, it, the amount of mobile, say, the people active on social media, if you look at the accounts available and all that, it has sort of surpassed some, the traditional marketing, how much, what's the sort of reach you get.
Yes.
So hence
views, reach,
absolutely. So hence the
impressions.
decision has been, I mean, there's been sort of a, we've sort of aligned ourselves more to create awareness, to do branding digitally rather than on traditional offline channels. But if, say, I think that was the other part of the question you were talking about was on sales, digital sales.
On how the digital marketing aspect, yes, like even influence. Now, when you say digital, it's not just about social media; it's influencer marketing. It's so vast.
Absolutely. So say I think, but still what we sort of see is in our sort of product line, people like to feel before buying product.
Yeah, touch and feel, basically.
Touch and feel. So, but in the world sense, if you take a about, say, some of the bigger brands do about between 20 and 25% of their sales digitally. But in our case, we probably do less than 5% of our sales digitally. And say what was less than 1% has grown up to 5% during COVID times. And say we hope that the Sri Lankan consumer also will like to switch to what do you call online shopping.
I mean, if you take example for me, if I'm buying something, as Minel said, I like to feel it. I like to really feel it and physically see it.
How it looks on
How
you.
it looks, how it fits. So basically, for example, sometimes a T-shirt, a large doesn't fit. I mean, different brand will sell,
Yeah.
Yes.
and probably most size will be something different.
Yes.
So, for a customer like me, I'm sure there are so many in Sri Lanka or in Asia, because our sizes are different when it comes to Asians, right? So I feel physical stores are still, I mean, it's old school, some may say
Yes.
that, but still the way go forward, especially
Exactly.
in Sri Lanka.
Yes.
The brick and mortar stores still probably have a long way to go because of that. Even like I said, even the large brands in the world, still only about 20 to 25% of their sales come from the digital channel. So I guess there is still some time before we sort of see the end of brick and mortar stores, I suppose.
So this is a hint, maybe more showrooms
More
are
and
coming
more,
up. You
absolutely.
never know.
We don't have a single of our own store. We work with all the retailers
So
in
in
Sri
future,
Lanka.
In
In
future,
future, you
it
never
could be
know.
one of the opportunities, open opportunities.
As a strategy, we sort of we've been avoiding doing our own stores. I think we sort of try to think our expertise is in making and designing clothes. We'll probably stick to that, while the retail business is sort of completely different.
So just giving you another idea through my channel to you for the future. You never know. In few years down the line,
Absolutely.
we might have
We might have-
coming up.
Recommendations. Hasib, if I let me craft it this way.
Okay.
Actually, this question might be a little bit tough for you to answer. You can be quite honest and genuine. The reason I'm asking it is because people who are watching it, can be a company, could be employees, it will be important for them. Work-life balance is very important. And you said you have one of the best teams ever because they supported you during crisis, during pandemic, everything. How do you pressure them? If sales are declining, do you pressure your team? Is that the solution? Or is it you tell them work late nights? Because this happens currently, this is happening. So is it right to pressure the employee and say, if you want your job, you need to stay and do this. You need to achieve this sales target. Is that the right strategy?
So I think the strategy for us, again, as a company, a lot of it has been data-based. So say we try and pull up data in terms of what's sort of selling in the market, what market size, what sort of percentage we have, and we are consistently pushing ourselves to reach our targets. So I suppose there will be times when you don't, and there are times when you exceed. So the race is long. There will be ups and downs. So that's how we sort of try and look at it.
I mean, as long as it's just not about numbers. I mean,
Yeah.
in my little experience in corporate field, I think it's not about numbers. As a head of a department or a team, you look at the commitment of the employer, and if still it's there from the her or he, you be satisfied. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're absolutely right. I think there are, there are a lot more aspects to just sort of work as well. I think the team puts in a lot of effort. Or they go out of their way a lot of the times, and then it's sort of a balance of how the business can also give back, how they can meet their needs. There's a large human touch to it, Maharoof. You're absolutely right.
Absolutely.
So because end of the day, it's people sort of,
Yes.
and there are a lot of emotions, and it's about dealing with them as well.
And playing with dealing with emotions also on the individual, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
So, Hasib, there is something I didn't tell you. There's a rapid fire round.
Here
So
we go.
surprise once again.
Come
So
on.
are you ready for your rapid fire? It's going to be spontaneous answers.
I don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice.
He's born ready.
So we are going to put the CEO on the spot,
All right.
on camera. Are you ready?
Ready? Let's go.
Okay. Now we're moving on to the hot and spicy rapid fire round. Why hot and spicy? Because I feel so sorry when I say Hasib, I have no choice. Firstly, apologies, but I really want to hear
So
the rapid
you're
fire from
apologizing
you.
first.
First I'm saying sorry.
I'm looking
So
forward
that
to
I'm not
this
dead
now.
meat after the show. What's your favorite sport to watch?
Test cricket.
Okay.
Good choice.
Which sport team do you support?
Sri Lanka cricket team.
What's your favorite sport related movie or documentary?
Fine, Babylon. It was a movie about West Indies cricket.
Oh yeah, I've heard of it.
Do you have a favorite athlete? If so, why? If no, no problem. Athlete.
Cricketer. Tilagaratna Dilshan. And Maharoof also.
No, I would never have to. You can't say Dilshan because he keeps, he bowls, he fields, he bats, he does everything.
Which sport, apart from cricket? Now I know you're a cricket fan. Apart from cricket, which sport do you love the most? Apart from it, huh?
Apart from cricket, probably swimming. Yeah.
So like during leisure time, you also like do swimming and stuff.
Yes.
Okay. Role model in business.
My grandfather. So yeah, he's still M.H. Omar. He was a founder.
Okay.
So yeah, he's been a role model for me.
All right. Branded clothes or clothes manufactured in Sri Lanka? So do you wear both? If I am to be
I
so
wear
direct?
only moves.
Only moves.
Yes.
Before moves?
Before everything.
Now, imaginary, even you have to answer this. If you are to go on a date, you have to pick, I'm mentioning 3 ladies, or you can even put my name there. I'll be the 4th one. First one, Pooja Umashankar, Shanudri Priyasad, Caroline Jury. From these 3 ladies,
Who's the lucky one?
who is the lucky one? You want to go on a date with?
All 3 of them.
You can't have all 3. Pick one. You left me out.
Exactly.
Oh, okay, all 4 of them. No. Who say?
So I'll repeat the names.
So,
Pooja Umashankar,
Caroline will go on a date with
lovely.
Good choice.
Mrs. World. I mean, why
Mrs.
not?
World. That's right.
Does every company follow their marketing values when it comes to manufacturing, when it comes to delivery, packaging? I'm not asking about moves. I am asking, in general, if you take a company.
All companies follow their marketing values very
It's
strongly.
Be so diplomatic.
so diplomatic. Is it always good to invest in marketing for ROI, return on investment, or sales?
I think it's probably a mix of 2, but yeah, I believe it's good to invest in marketing.
Bowling or trips?
So come again?
Do you usually enjoy like playing bowling, or you like just enjoy going on trips?
I enjoy going on trips. I don't know
You
what.
love to travel?
Yes.
Okay. Gym or yoga?
uh,
දෙකම නෙමෙයි කියන්න එපා මට.
gym, treadmill.
So you don't do weights or anything?
No.
Farveez, you?
Look
Probably.
at him. He definitely does a lot of weights.
Probably cross trainer nowadays
All right.
because
CrossFit,
lifting
nice and
weights
hard.
days have, moved aside a little bit. More on cardio, get your heart rate higher. So I'm with Hasib on
I'm
this.
surprised both of y'all didn't say yoga, because if you take yoga, it's like the mental and physical well-being for people in the corporates too, like especially like CEOs and like both of y'all who are entrepreneurs. How come not yoga?
My yoga will be watching TV and watching a football match.
I'm
Watching
not-
test
No
cricket.
comment.
Exactly.
Test
No,
cricket.
but yeah, absolutely. So traveling. My yoga is traveling and watching Test cricket.
Exactly. Mine is
I'm going to
football.
invite both of y'all for a yoga session one day to try it out.
Good luck.
Cheat meals or salads?
Cheat meals or
Salads.
cheat meals? No salads.
How do you keep this fit body with
Treadmill.
cheat meals and treadmill? 3 words. Tell me 3 key words you believe any entrepreneur or any business startup should have.
3 words. So, I think, how do you put it? Values, sticking to your
Yes,
values, sort of
values.
thing, and then be adaptable to change.
Yes.
What
One more.
else? Invest in branding.
Investment. Great. So before we wrap up, your final rapid fire question. Is success the better teacher or learner in life, or is failure the better learner or teacher in life?
Failure is a better learner and
100%.
teacher in life. I
100%.
think with this brand, we've been very lucky. We've come a long way.
Yes.
But I think failure teaches you a lot more things than success does. So, absolutely.
Good answer.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Hasib, for joining us. Thank you for your time and actually coming. Thank you for coming and sharing the story, which many people didn't know.
Thank you very much for having me. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Hasib. Thanks for
Thanks.
joining us. Thank you.
Thank you, Farveez, for joining us as well.
Yep.
You're watching Chat with Champions, Farveez Maharoof official YouTube channel. Keep watching us for more inspiring videos as we tell you the truth behind brands, the truth you need to know.
Very well. Hopefully.
Please still.
Thank you then. Wonderful meeting you. Thanks.
Aja pakai phone itu. Minute gitu.